Chandra Jayo Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jayo Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau Gaudeye Pushpavanatau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau Grantherarambhakori Mangalacharana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Haya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Safal Nijavanshita Purana Jai Jai Kripamoy Jagatiranath Sarva Jagatira Kuru Shubha Drishtipad Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरद्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading today Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the most nectarian sweets of all sweets, given by Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. We are at Adi Lila Chapter 7, entitled Lord Chaitanya and the Five Features. This particular section, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining the reasons of his Sankirtana movement, why, and answering to the questions of Prakashananda Saraswati from text number 71 onwards to text number 98. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining the different reasons. And another beautiful point which kind of just coming to my mind, whenever a devotee gives something, speaks something, he's always quoting Guru Sadhu Shastra. He's not saying, I feel like this. Oh, my Guru Dev told me like this, right? So this is a very wonderful sign of a devotee, that always going back to the Guru Parampara system, always going back to the Shastra, always going back to the spiritual masters. So with that, we will read text number 99. Prabhuramishta shuni sannyasi ragana chitta firi gela kohe madhura vachana. Prabhuramishta shuni sannyasi ragana chitta firi gela kohe madhura vachana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. After hearing Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Mayavadi sannyasis were moved. Their minds changed, and thus they spoke with pleasing words. Wow. Purport. Let's see how. Okay. The Mayavadi sannyasis met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Varanasi to criticize the Lord regarding his participation in the Sankirtana movement, which they did not like. This demoniac nature of opposition to the Sankirtana movement perpetually exists, as it existed in the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, it existed long before that. Even in the time of Prahlad Maharaj, he used to chant in the Sankirtana, although his father did not like it, and that was the reason for the misunderstanding between the father and the son. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.15, the Lord says, Namam dushkritino mura prapadyante naradhama maya prihata jnana asurim bhavam ashritaha. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, those who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. The Mayavadi sannyasis are asuram bhavam ashritaha, which means that they have taken the path of asuras, demons, who do not believe in the existence of the form of God. The Mayavadis say that the ultimate source of everything is impersonal, and in this way they deny the existence of God. Very, very important point. This is the Mayavadi, like typical Mayavadi symptom, right? Everything comes from impersonal, some light, some, Jyoti, some this, some that, but they do not believe in the personal existence of God. Saying that there is no God is direct denial of God, and saying that the God exists but has no head, legs, or hands and cannot speak, hear, or eat is a negative way of denying his existence, right? Or they may say, oh, God is there, but maybe he's just like some light, some effulgence. No, no, he cannot have a hand, he cannot have legs, he cannot talk. A person who cannot see is called blind. One who cannot walk is called lame. One who has no hands is called helpless. One who cannot speak is called dumb. And one who cannot hear is called deaf. The Mayavadi's proposition that God has no legs, no eyes, no ears, and no hands is an indirect way of insulting him by by defining him as blind, deaf, dumb, lame, helpless, etc. Therefore, although they present themselves as great Vedantists, they are factually Maya Prihata Jnana. In other words, they seem to be very learned scholars, but the essence of their knowledge has been taken away. Maya ne apaharan kar liya. Maya has stolen their knowledge. Impersonalist Mayavadis always try to defy Vaishnavas because Vaishnavas accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the supreme cause and want to serve Him, talk with Him, and see Him, just as the Lord is also eager to see His devotees and talk, eat, and dance with them. Wow, so beautiful. Not just devotees are eager to talk with Him, to serve Him, but the Lord is also eager to talk to his devotees, eat with devotees, dance with devotees. These personal exchanges of Lord do not appeal to the Mayavadi sannyasis. Therefore, the original purpose of the Mayavadi sannyasis of Banaras in meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to defeat his personal conception of God. So what was the purpose? To basically bring him on his team. And that's the intent. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, as a preacher, turned the minds of the Mayavadi sannyasis. They were melted by the words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus they became friendly and spoke to him also in sweet words. Similarly, all preachers will have to meet opponents, but they should not make them more inimical. They are already enemies, and if we talk with them harshly or impolitely, their enmity will merely increase. We should therefore follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as far as possible and try to convince the opposition by quoting from the Shastras and presenting the conclusion of the Acharyas. It is in this way that we should try to defeat all the enemies of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Such a beautiful verse and a lot of practical lessons. So I think one key point which is emphasized here is the difference between the Mayavadi understanding and the personal understanding. The Mayavadis are basically insulting God by calling him deaf, lame, blind, etc. Oh, he does not have hand. Oh, he does not have eyes. Oh, he can't talk. No. Mm. It is said, we are the sons of God, right? Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. He is the seed-giving father, right? So the Father, if we have hand, leg, eyes, mouth to talk, how can we say God does not have hands, legs? In all the other scriptures, all the other religions also, there is mention about directly or indirectly about the form of God. And in the Bhakti Shastra, like Bhagavatam, like Gita, etc., there is direct mention. There is direct, hmm, there are so many bhajan, there are so many scriptures. In Ramayana, we see, right, the Lord is eating. Yesterday we were talking about Raghunandana, how he offered and Gopinath ate, right? So, Sakshat. And that is the faith, that is the love of the devotee and the even the deity. So many pastimes are there how deities reciprocate, right? Mm. To the love of devotees. Like Radharaman deities, came from the Shaligram because she was that Gopala Bhatta Goswami
Gopal.
to offer different ornaments, different dresses, right? So the Lord and the devotee want to reciprocate with each other. The devotee wants to serve the Lord, and the Lord is equally hungry for that. Hmm. The Lord is not hungry for anything, right? He has everything, but he's hungry for the love of his devotee, that mutual exchange, that reciprocal relationship. So, Mayavadis don't believe in all this. They think maybe some light, close your eyes, see some yellow light, blue light, and that's everything. That's our goal, to be in that light. And after all, we came from nothing, we go there, there is nothing, and just we merge into nothing. Uh, no, that's not. And they claim, oh, we know Vedanta. Hmm. But the essence of Vedanta, what is the perfection of knowledge? Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. Lord Krishna is saying, the essence of all the scriptures is to know me. From all the scriptures, I am to be known. That's one point. That's the difference between the Mayavadis and the Bhaktas or the Vaishnavas. So now the Lord is the Supreme Lord. He can defeat 10 million Mayavadis in one room. Correct. These are not just some Mayavadi students. They are like hardcore, right? They are like very, very pakka sannyasis. Now we have to be careful. Hmm. Like always, the example comes like the match of kabaddi. Hmm. So, imagine, the kabaddi match, kabaddi or tug of war or whatever. There are two teams. So they're different team members, some strong, some, and the other team, the team red, this person, this person has to go. The goal is to touch someone, but don't forget to come back. So one has to see where is what is my level of understanding, what is, my, or it should not happen that one thinks, oh no, I can go anywhere, I can preach to anyone, I can preach to hardcore Mayavadis. We may get stuck there, a satsang, or they are a Vaishnava satsang, a satsanga tyaga, a Vaishnavachar. That sangha we have to avoid. Those who are envious. But sometimes this is the risk a preacher takes. So the idea is to basically open up the heart. If the heart is open, as Lord Chaitanya did, through humility, through kind words, if they are open to hearing, then the message can go in. But if the heart is not open, then one should not waste one's valuable time, because time is precious, and if we keep hearing their content, they may have read tons of books on impersonalist philosophy, and um, uh, we may not be sufficiently either the faith or the philosophy, we may not have that sufficient conviction. Sometimes, it happens actually. Innocent devotees may get bewildered. So, in short, we have to be careful of such sangha. Hmm. Lord Chaitanya can convert millions of Mayavadis, and that's what he did actually in this verse. As we see, after hearing the kind words of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their minds change, and then they spoke. What they spoke, we'll see further. Any comments, any thoughts here in this particular text? Okay, who is going to hit the century? Text number 100. Anyone wants to read? Okay,
I can
Polly.
read Prabhuji. Okay,
Mataji, you want to read? Okay.
oh, I think they raised hand, Prabhu. Polymathaji. I can
Okay.
read after this.
Yeah, everyone will get a chance. That's fine.
Okay. যে কিছু কহিলে তুমি সব সত্য হয়, কৃষ্ণ প্রেমা সেই পায় যার ভাগ্যোদয়. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what you have said is all true. Only one who is favored by fortune attains love of God. Purport. One who is actually very fortunate can begin Krishna consciousness, as stated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Srila Rupa Goswami. ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ভ্রমিতে কোনো ভাগ্যবান জীব গুরু কৃষ্ণ প্রসাদে পায় ভক্তিলতা বীজ. চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত মধ্যলীলা 19.151. There are millions of living entities who have become conditioned by the laws of material nature, and they are wandering throughout the planetary systems of this universe in different bodily forms. Among them, one who is fortunate meets a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna and comes to understand the meaning of devotional service. By discharging devotional service under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master or acharya, he develops love of Godhead. One whose love of Godhead, Krishna Prem, is awakened and who thus becomes a devotee of the inconceivable Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be considered extremely fortunate. The Mayavadi sannyasis admitted this fact to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is not easy for one to become a Krishna conscious person, but by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it can be possible, as will be proven in the course of this narration. So here, Mayavadi sannyasis, they realized that someone need to favor them to get the Krishna prema, and they have to be fortunate to have a sadhu, to have a guru like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that case, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually taught them. So he is the Siksha Guru of those Mayavadi sannyasis. And in Krishna consciousness, the devotees, they are fortunate because they get the mercy of the Guru, mercy of the Acharya, and Guru is the representative of Lord Krishna who actually show the path, who initiate his devotees to get the Krishna prema, Krishna love. So that's why devotees are very fortunate through the bona fide spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this beautiful verse. This verse talks about who is speaking this verse? Anyone? Who is speaking this verse to whom?
One Mayavadi sannyasis.
Yeah.
Chaitanya
Talking to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now these were the very people who were who were saying that what silly activities are you doing? Is it not? Right? Chanting, dancing. But now they are completely transformed. How? By the power of the words in the Sangha and of course by the touch of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna prema se pai yara bhagya uday. That person's, there's a book called When Good Fortune Arises, right? When good fortune arises, what is real good fortune? Hmm. Sometimes people say, oh, I'm so fortunate. Oh, I got a son. Oh, I'm so fortunate. I got a good job. I'm so fortunate. I got a good degree, right? In material world, these things may be considered as fortune. Oh, I got a lottery, right? Bhagya uday, right? Wow, I became a millionaire by winning this lottery. In material world, this is considered bhagya uday, but not in spiritual life. What is bhagya uday? Who is really fortunate in the spiritual world? Krishna prema se pai yara bhagya uday. One who has developed, who is one who is favored by fortune attains love of God. Hmm. This is that being a true lover of God, developing Krishna Prem is very, very rare thing. We have discussed this slide, rarity of a pure devotee, right? Hmm. There's 8.4 million species of life, 900,000 fishes, 2 million trees and plants, right? Insects and other species. So human are 400,000, right? Jajanava sthavara laksha vimshati kramyo rudra sankhyaha pakshinam dashalakshana trimashal lakshani pashavah chaturlakshani manushaha 4 lakh chaturlakshani in the 8.4 million. So getting a human birth is very rare itself. What percentage, right? Hmm. Very rare, right? Out of 8 million, 8.4 million, only 400,000, right? So less than 10%, less than even 5% actually. Hmm. So get a human birth actually in the 8.4 million species. So even in that human species, let's see, there is so many. There are Aryans and non-Aryans, civilized, non-civilized. Those who are Aryan, some are righteous and some are not so righteous. Those who are righteous, some are just busy in karma kanda, fruitive work. You do this, you get this, right? Some don't even believe in karma kanda, right? Those who believe in karma kanda, sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad, right? Very few are searching for absolute truth. Some are just, searching for just other desires. For those who are trying to look for something higher, trying to look for absolute truth, some want liberation. Some don't want moksha. Okay, so those who don't want moksha, moksha is here like impersonal liberation. Uh, those who are looking for siddhi, some are looking for demigod worship, some believe in Krishna. Those who believe in Krishna, some are doing adulterated worship, right? Okay, I will give you 10% to Krishna, 90% to myself. Hmm. But very few are looking for those who really want to go home, back to Godhead as their one and single like Chataka bird. That's their goal, right? That's their Vyavasayatmika buddhirna ekeha kurunandana bahushaka anantascha buddhyo vyavasayina. Their buddhi, their mind is fixed. This is like a Chataka bird. That's my goal. Now, those who only want to go to back home, back to Godhead, some will say, okay, itni bhi jaldi kya hai? Abhi pade hain barso. Why hurry? Okay, we are chanting hurry, but don't hurry so much. Life is there, million, we'll get there. Don't worry, right? We'll take an easy path, maybe after. But those who really, really want pure bhakti here, now, in the present, this is my last lifetime, and doing that person, pure devotee, is very, very rare. So that is the rarity. So that person is really very, very bhagyavan, and one who has attained the mercy of Guru and Krishna, who has attained the Bhakti Lata Bija. What's that verse in the Bhagavad Gita also? Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Muktanam api siddhanam. There's another beautiful verse coming to my mind. Muktanam api siddhanam. Narayana Parasarve. Okay, it's in Canto 6, Chapter 5. Yes, let's read this verse. Open up. Muktanam api siddhanam. Narayana Parayana. Sudurlabha Prashantatma Kotish api Mahamuni. O great sage, among many, many millions who are liberated and perfect in the knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayana or Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. So, rarity of devotee. Again, this beautiful verse comes. Many, many are aspiring for mukti. Many, many are aspiring for siddhis. But Narayana Parayana, completely surrendered to Lord Narayana, Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha, very, very rare. Prashantatma, that peaceful soul. Kotish api Mahamune, millions and trillions amongst that person is very rare. So that is real bhagya. That is real saubhagya. To get the mercy of Guru, to develop Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem se pai yaras bhagya uday. So we can be really fortunate. We have full permission. We have full opportunity to become that bhag. Now the seed has been given to all of us. The moment a devotee comes in ISKCON, gets to know about chanting, reading, hearing, the seed is there. Some devotee or the other, through Prabhupada's books, through Prabhupada's other, preaching mechanism, the seed has been given. Now the choice is ours whether we want to fully develop and our potential and become that rare soul. Then Prabhupada always emphasized our movement is to make pure devotees. That's the goal. Some will take it quickly and understand that time is short, life is precious. Some will take it gradually. That's fine. But choice is ours. Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts, comments? Anyone else wants to add, share here? So we'll move on to the next verse, text 101. Holy Mataji, you can read this.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. কৃষ্ণে ভক্তি করো ইহার সবার সন্তোষ বেদান্ত না শুনো কেনে তার কি বা দোষ Translation. Dear Sir, there is no objection to your being a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Everyone is satisfied with this. But why do you avoid discussion on the Vedanta Sutra? What is the fault in it? Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments in this connection. Mayavadi sannyasis accept the commentary by Sri Shankaracharya known as Sri Raka Vaishya gives the real meaning of the Vedanta Sutra. In, in other words, Mayavadi sannyasis accept the meanings expressed in the explanation of the Vedanta Sutra by Shankaracharya, which are based on monism. Thus, they explain the Vedanta Sutra, the Upanishads, and all such Vedic literatures in their own impersonal way. The great Mayavadi sannyasis Sadananda Yogendra has written a book known as Vedanta Sara, in which he writes Vedanta Nama Upanishad Paramanam Ted Upakarini Charika Chariraka Sutradini Ka. According to Sadananda Yogendra, the Vedanta Sutra and Upanishads are presented by Sri Shankaracharya in his Shariraka Vaishya commentary, are the only source of Vedic evidence. Actually, however, Vedanta refers to the essence of Vedic knowledge, and it is not a fact that there is nothing more than Shankaracharya Shariraka Bhashya. There are other Vedanta commentaries written by Vaishnava Acharya, none of whom follows Sri Shankaracharya or accept imaginative commentary for his school. Their commentaries are based on the philosophy of duality. Monist philosophers like Shankaracharya and his followers want to establish that God and living entity are one, and insisted of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They presented themselves as God. They want to be worshipped as God by others. Such persons do not accept the philosophies of the Vaishnav Acharya, which are known as Shuddha Vaidya, purified nominism. Shuddha Dvaita, purified dualism. Vaisishta Vedita, specific monism. Dvaita Vedita, monism and dualism. And Achinta Veda, in, inconceivable oneness and difference. Mayavadis do not discuss these philosophies, for they are firmly convicted of their own philosophy of Kevaladvaita, exclusive monism, accepting this system of philosophy as the pure understanding of the Vedanta Sutra. They believe that Krishna has a body made of material elements and that the activities of loving service of Krishna are sentimentality. They are known as Mayavadis because, according to their opinion, Krishna has a body made of Maya, and the loving service of the Lord executed by devotees is also Maya. They consider such devotional services to be an accept of purity activities, karma kanda. According to their view, bhakti consists of mental speculation, of sometimes meditation. This is the difference between the Mayavadi and Vaishnava philosophies. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this. So, this is question number 2 asked by the Mayavadis. What was question number 1? Anyone recalls? Which was a few weeks back we discussed. So question 1 was primarily, hey, why you were a sannyasi and you are bhavuka, you're so bhavuka, like jumping up and down. Why don't you associate with us and just read Vedanta and abandon this Sankirtana movement? Basically, as you noticed that all the answers were focused around chanting, dancing like a madman, right? All the answers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, many verses he quoted, Nache, Gai, right? Unmata, right? Krishna, Mantrida, Ei Swabhava, Krishna, Prema Janmai, like so many. The focus was about Sankirtana, that this chanting, bhakti yoga process. Now, the other question is coming up in text number 101, which we just read, that okay, the Mayavadis are saying, okay, let's say you want to do Krishna bhakti. Okay, you want to do Krishna bhakti karo. Ihaya samara santosh. Okay, we are fine. There is some satisfaction. But Vedanta na shune ke na tara ki badosh. Isme, why you don't want to hear Vedanta philosophy? Why you are avoiding the discussion of Vedanta Sutra? What is the fault in there? What's wrong? Okay, you do up and down chanting, dancing, that's fine. We are not objecting that. I mean, first they were objecting that also, but that question is answered interestingly. So everyone is satisfied. So they're satisfied with the response. Now, question number 2. So Srila Prabhupada explains in this purport, I think there's some Sanskrit philosophies are coming. Basically, if we notice here, these 5 Vaishnava philosophies or Siddhantas are mentioned. Shuddha Advaita, purified monism, or Shuddha Dvaita, purified dualism, Vishishta, special or specific Advaita, or Dvaita Advaita, monism and dualism existing parallelly, Achintya Bheda Bhed. They are all, I mean, we don't have to go too much in detail, but the essence is the same. That yes, there are qualitatively, we and God are same. Sat Chit Ananda. Right? We are also Satchit Ananda, and the Supreme Lord is Satchit Ananda. But we are Anu. We are Anu. And Krishna is Vibhu. We are, he is infinite. He's like, we are like a drop in the ocean, and Krishna is the ocean, or millions of oceans put together. So there is no comparison in the quantity. Satchidananda, both are Satchidananda. Now, the Anu always remains Anu. We are infinitesimally, we are eternally separated part and parcel of Krishna. So Anu does not become Vibhu, and neither one should try to be. So that's basically all these purified monism or purified dualism. But what do the Mayavadi says? Mayavadi says, no, we don't believe in all that. What do we believe in? Kevala Advaita, exclusive monism. That means Keval. Keval means only Advaita. Dvaita nahi. There is no two. There is only one. Therefore, Moni. Mono is monotheism. Oh, not monotheism here. Monism. Monism means I and God are same, or we will become same. I'll become God. That's the non-Vaishnava understanding. So, and their commentaries also, as mentioned by Shankaracharya, etc., Sharirika Bhashya, etc., there are commentaries. Now, any word can be broken down into multiple meanings, especially in a language like Sanskrit. One word can have multiple meanings. Even to Bhagavad Gita, there are hundreds of translations. Therefore, we recommend Bhagavad Gita as it is. As it is very, very important. Why? Written by a devotee, a pure devotee, who understands the meaning God wants to give, the personal understanding of God, the personal message of God. Sometimes people are giving commentary to Bhagavad Gita translation and say, oh, Krishna was just a warrior. Krishna was just like an ordinary being. But Prabhupada mentions in the introduction itself, if someone considers this book as just spoken by any other person, any other Tom, Dick, Harry, and Krishna is also one of the other beings like you and I, then this book has no meaning, right? Then this book has no meaning. So one has to read with that premise, that foundation. We're not just reading a book about, millions of authors have written millions of books. It's not just a book to be read like a novel or some other, even a true story. Or it is not a book by a mortal being. It is the words of God, Bhagavad Gita, the song of God. So this is what Lord Chaitanya focus, Achintya Bheda Bhed, inconceivable oneness and difference. Oneness in the quality, Satchidananda, and the difference in the quantity. And the other philosophies are also same concept in nutshell. They're all Vaishnava Siddhanta as given by Vaishnava Acharyas. So now the question comes here, why don't you study Vedanta Sutra with us? That's the point here. Any comments, thoughts, questions? Okay, so we'll read one more verse. Yes, Poli Mataji, one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, can you please pronounce those things, because I don't know how to pronounce. Only the last one I can say is Achinta Vedavet. What was the before four of them? I just wanted to hear one more time how to pronounce them.
Sure. Try to break the two words, Advaita, Dvaita, Advaita, right? And then
Okay.
Shuddha. Shuddha means pure. Advaita
Okay.
means not non-dual. So Advaita means monism. Dvaita means dual, two.
Oh.
Hmm? So
Okay.
now let's see, it become easy. Shuddha Advaita, Shuddha Advaita. Then
Shuddha.
Shuddha Dvaita.
Okay.
Vishishta means special. Vishishta Advaita.
Okay.
Dvaita Advaita. So monism and dualism parallelly existing, and that's Achintya Bheda Abheda. So Bheda Abheda is same as Dvaita Advaita, right? There is some in something, yes, we are same as God. In some things, we are not same as God. So
Okay.
Achintya Bheda Bhed, same thing. Achintya means inconceivable.
Thank you. If I have any more question, I'll just review the video there. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Ribo. Thank you, Maharaj. Okay, one or two. Maybe two devotees can read. One devotee can read till here, and then the other devotee can complete. Yes, Shilpa Mataji, maybe you can start, and Anita Mataji can complete.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Danvat pranam, devotees. Text 102. Eta suni hasi Prabhu balila vachana dukkhana mahana yadi harini vedana. Translation: and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. After hearing the Mayavadi sannyasis speak in that way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled slightly and said, "My dear sirs, if you don't mind, I can say something to you regarding Vedanta philosophy." Purport: the Mayavadi sannyasis appreciated Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him why he did not discuss Vedanta philosophy. Actually, however, the entire system of Vaishnava activities is based on Vedanta philosophy. Vaishnavas do not neglect Vedanta, but they do not care to understand Vedanta on the basis of Shankaracharya, Sa- Sariraka Bhasya commentary. Therefore, to clarify the situation, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with the permission of the Mayavadi sannyasis, wanted to speak regarding Vedanta philosophy. The Vaishnavas are by far the greatest philosophers in the world, and the greatest among them was Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu, whose philosophy was again presented less than 400 years later by Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaja. Therefore, one must know very well that Vaishnava philosophers are not sentimentalists or cheap devotees like the Sahajiyas. All the Vaishnava acharyas were vastly learned scholars who understand Vedanta philosophy fully, for unless one knows Vedanta philosophy, he cannot be an acharya unless one who knows Vedanta philosophy. He cannot be Acharya. To be accepted as an Acharya among Indian transcendentalists who follow the Vedic principles, one must become a vastly learned scholar in Vedanta philosophy, either by studying it or hearing it. Bhakti develops in pursuance of Vedanta philosophy. This is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.12.
Yes, Anita, did you want to complete the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Tach Shraddhadhana Munayo Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam Bhaktya Shruta Grihataya. The words Bhaktya Shruta Grihatya in this verse are very important, for they indicate that bhakti must be based upon the philosophy of the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra. Srila Rupa Goswami said, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Ekantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatyeva Kalpate. Devotional service performed without reference to the Vedas, Puranas, Pancharatras, etc. must be considered sentimentalism, and it causes nothing but disturbance to society. There are different grades of Vaishnavas, Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. But to be a Madhyamadhikari preacher, one must be a learned scholar in the Vedanta Sutra and other Vedic literatures, because when Bhakti Yoga develops on the basis of Vedanta philosophy, it is factual and steady. In this connection, we may quote the translation and purport of the verse mentioned above. 1.2.12. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shikla Mataji and Nita Mataji, for reading this verse. Any comments you have?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll just add two sentences to what I understood. It looks like here the Mayavadis are more inclined towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they are asking why are you not accepting Vedanta and so forth. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who knows everything, is smiling and replying back, taking permission for them to explain more about Vedanta philosophy. And Srila Prabhupada is quoting that Vaishnavas or ISKCON doesn't ignore Vedanta. Rather, one on a Madhyamadikari level or a learned or named as Acharya should know the Vedanta philosophy very well. And Prabhupada is detailing even more. Prabhuji, that's what I understood.
Very well. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you. So, you see, in ISKCON, there is so much focus on Shastra actually. Why are people getting drifted because of lack of Shastra? In India, people may say, oh, we are very holy. We play holy with colors, right? That doesn't mean to be holy. We have a holy Gita wrapped up in the red cloth. That doesn't make one a holy person. I mean, yes, just keeping Gita at home will have some advantages than not having, but it's very unfortunate that if someone, you know, I'm not talking about atheistic people, there's we don't believe in God. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about some people who say, okay, there is some God and we believe there is some nice book called Gita. 95% of them, if you ask, can you share 5 lines about Gita? Not 5 hours. 2 minutes, can you speak about Gita from what you have read, understood, or learned? 95% of those, unfortunately, cannot tell even 2 minutes what are the key essence or key teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So, but here we see so we're so blessed that we don't ignore scriptures. Prabhupada, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada being the commander-in-chief, emphasized so much on reading, hearing. Every day morning Bhagavatam class, every day evening Bhagavad Gita class, Sunday feast program, so much. And everywhere the focus is on Shastra, right? Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Sri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. These are the 5 most important limbs, especially Rupa Goswami. Sakala Sadhana Shrestha A Pancha Anga Krishna Prema Janmay Na Puna Panchira Alpasanga. So we are not saying to not study the Holy Scriptures. Just merely studying Ekantakir Harir Bhakta Utpat Eva Kalpate. We have to study under the proper guidance, under guidance of Vaishnavas, Acharyas, Vaishnav Siddhanta. Not just studying solo without proper guidance. That will lead to Utpata. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is kind of smiling and taking their permission. Again, a sign of great, great, great humility before he begins to respond. So, yeah. And Prabhupada is saying the greatest, the greatest philosopher, Jiva Goswami, right? Actually, the number of verses Srila Jiva Goswami wrote himself in Sanskrit language is uncomprehendable. One time we went to Srila Damodar temple. It is said that he wrote more than 400,000 verses. He wrote. And just to give context, Bhagavatam has how many verses? 18,000. Ramayana has how many verses? Valmiki Ramayana? Anyone? Any guesses? About 24,000. So can you imagine? Jiva Goswami wrote 400,000 verses himself. So we are so fortunate to be in this Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara, right? It is not a parampara of fanatics. It is not a parampara of illiterate people. It is not a parampara of those who did not have anything better in life. It is a parampara of very, very great devotees. It is a parampara of great devotees who left everything to give us the real thing. What is that word? Tyaktva turnamashesha mandalapati. Right? In the Shad Goswami Ashtakam, that's that this beautiful line comes. Tyaktva turnam. They gave up everything, like just like a blade of grass. I'll quickly open up. This is Shad Goswami Ashtakam, the prayers to the Shad Goswami. Yaktva turnamashesha mandalapati Shrinim sada tuchava Bhutva dina ganeshu karunyaya Kopina kantashritau Gopi bhavarasamrita bhilahari Kalolamagnau muhu Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. I offer my humble, respectful obeisance to six Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Shri Jiva Goswami and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who kicked off all the association of aristocracy as insignificant. In order to deliver the poor conditioned souls, they accepted lion cloth, treating themselves as mendicants, but they are always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the gopis' love for Krishna, and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. So it is not a movement of some fanatics or what is like some show bottle spiritualists who are just trying to get some followers, some name, fame. No, this is a very, very pure. We're so fortunate to be in this Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara. And Lord Chaitanya is going to respond. But in short, here in ISKCON, in Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara, there is a lot of emphasis on scriptures. And if anyone is giving classes, Prabhupada always wanted we should quote from scriptures because there are so many so-called gurus. I think God is this, I think God is that. What do you, who am I to think about God? What does Bhagavad Gita say? What does Bhagavatam say? What does Chaitanya Charitamrita say? What does the great acharyas say about it? That is what brings credibility, right? So, any other comments, thoughts before we wrap up today? Ravi Prabhu, you raised hand. Yes, Shilpa Mataji.
Prabhuji, here it says, Prabhupada in the purport, he says, but they do not care to understand Vedanta on the basis of Shariraka Bhashya commentary. Is that bodily Shariraka Bhashya meaning like Vedanta, like Aham Brahmasmi, I am the God kind of a philosophy? Just trying to understand.
So, yeah, this is basically the Shankaracharya commentary on, as we read in the previous verse also, this came. Right? And this is basically like different people have given different commentaries on the Vedanta. This is the impersonalist commentary. So Vaishnavas do not neglect Vedanta, but they do not care about the Vedanta on this basis of impersonalist commentary, if you like paraphrase there. or they do not care about the impersonalist commentary. Like we do not care, I do not care, we should not care about what the 10, 100 other Gita translations say. We care about Bhagavad Gita as it is. We don't have time, energy, and resources to dig there and kind of pollute our mind. It's not that we are fanatics, it's where we want to follow the right source. So Shrika Bhashya is basically, as we read in the previous verse, it is Mayavadi Sannyas accept this commentary by Shankaracharya known as Sharika Bhashya. So it is an impersonalist commentary by Shankaracharya.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry, I missed that portion. I was
No
back.
worries, Mataji, no worries. Thank you for the thoughtful reading. Okay, so I guess we will pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse and see how Sri Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responds to their question. We'll study that tomorrow. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit ki jai, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Mahashay ki jai, Shri Shad Goswami ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavind ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. Thank you, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.